You are listening to Still Within, where Stoic stories become your quiet companion through the night. A place where ancient wisdom meets the modern heart, where the noise of the day softens and the mind is gently guided inward. Have you ever noticed how your thoughts can feel like a restless storm? The day ends, the lights dim, yet your mind refuses to follow. It replays conversations. It imagines futures that may never come. It questions, it worries, it circles back again and again. This is the weight of an overthinking mind, an invisible burden that so many carry silently. In our modern world, overthinking has become almost natural. We are fed with endless streams of information, comparison, and noise. We scroll late into the night hoping for relief, but finding only more reasons to worry. Our minds, always alert, rarely find rest, and so we lie awake, not from physical exhaustion, but from the sheer weight of our own thoughts. But thousands of years ago, long before screens glowed in the night, the Stoics faced a similar challenge. Their world was filled with uncertainty, wars, plagues, political unrest, the constant reminder of death. And yet they found a way to quiet the storm, not by running from thought, but by mastering it. Not by drowning noise with more noise, but by learning to live in harmony with the mind itself. The Stoics did not see overthinking as weakness, but as misdirected energy. They taught that the mind is always active, always searching. The question is not whether we think, but how we guide those thoughts. Seneca once wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Overthinking, he might say, is not a sign of too much mind, but of a mind turned against itself. Imagine sitting in a Roman villa, the candle flickering against marble walls. Seneca sits across from you, calm and attentive. He listens as you pour out your worries, your future, your failures, your endless rehearsals of what might go wrong. And when you finish, he leans forward and reminds you, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." The overthinking mind is a mind that confuses imagination with truth. It creates dangers that do not yet exist. It fights battles that may never come. And in doing so, it exhausts itself before the day has even begun. The Stoic path is not to deny the mind's activity, but to bring it back into alignment, to see clearly what is real, and to let go of what is not. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who ruled an empire yet wrote his most private thoughts to himself, knew this struggle intimately. In his meditations, he reminded himself daily not to be carried away by fear of the future or regret of the past. "If you are pained by external things," he wrote, "it is not they that disturb you, but your judgment of them, and it is in your power to wipe out that judgment now." Think about that. The greatest empire of his time rested on his shoulders, yet he did not lose sleep over the immensity of it. Why? Because he understood that worry is not in the event, but in the way the mind interprets it. Overthinking, in this view, is simply the mind rehearsing judgments that have not yet been tested against reality. This is the first lesson of the Stoics for an overthinking mind. You cannot stop the flow of thoughts, but you can choose which ones you will give power to. Like standing by a river, you cannot dam the water completely, but you can decide whether to step in or simply watch it flow by. The mind, left alone, will invent stories. Some tragic, some frightening, some endlessly repetitive. But just as Marcus wrote, our power lies not in silencing the mind, but in choosing our response. In saying gently, "This thought does not serve me, I will let it go." In the stillness of night, when overthinking is loudest, this teaching becomes a kind of lantern. The thought may arrive, "What if I fail tomorrow?" The Stoic answer, "One, tomorrow is not here yet. Let me meet it when it comes." Another thought, "What if they think less of me?" The Stoic reply, "Their thoughts are not mine to govern. Let me focus on my own conduct." Slowly, by practicing this art, the storm of overthinking begins to lose its force. As you breathe now, notice how thoughts rise and fall, just as the Stoics noticed centuries ago. The mind will always stir, but you are not required to follow it into every dark corridor. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who chooses which thoughts deserve your attention. And in that choice lies peace. This is only the beginning of the journey. The Stoics left us not only with wisdom, but with practices, rituals of reflection, journaling, perspective, and acceptance that can transform overthinking into clarity. Yet before we explore these practices, let us pause here. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the streets of ancient Rome. The air is alive with the sound of merchants calling out their wares, soldiers marching in formation, children playing near the fountains, Beneath the grandeur, however, there is unease. At any moment, plague might sweep through the city. A political shift could topple fortunes overnight. War is never far away. The people of Rome, much like us today, lived with constant uncertainty. And uncertainty is the soil in which overthinking thrives. They worried about the same things we do: health, status, the opinions of others, the fragile future that no one can see. It was in this restless world that Stoicism grew roots. It wasn't just philosophy to be read in books. It was a lifeline, a way to navigate the turbulence of both society and the inner mind. Think of Epictetus, born a slave, crippled in body yet unbroken in spirit. He had every reason to be consumed with overthinking. Each day could bring punishment, humiliation, or loss, and yet instead of letting his mind spiral into fear, he turned inward and discovered a profound truth. The only true freedom lies in the control of our own judgments. He taught his students, some things are in our control and others not. The line is simple, yet it slices through the tangle of an overthinking mind. Because when we are caught in endless thought loops, it is usually over things far outside our power. The future, the past, the thoughts of others, the unpredictable turns of fate. Epictetus reminds us these do not belong to us. To obsess over them is to chain ourselves to shadows. What belongs to us are our choices, our actions, our responses, our values. Overthinking loses its grip when we return to this ground. Imagine Epictetus sitting with a young student late into the night. The student paces, anxious about what tomorrow's crowd might think of his speech. He cannot sleep. His thoughts race with images of embarrassment, rejection, failure. Epictetus listens patiently, then asks, "Can you control what they will think?" The student shakes his head. "Then why do you hand them your peace before the moment has even come?" This is the heart of the ancient struggle with worry. It is not new to us. Our ancestors lay awake just as we do. They too spun stories of futures not yet written. And they too learned, through philosophy, that the mind can be calmed when it remembers its boundaries. Seneca, writing to his friend Lucilius, described overthinking as a kind of theft. We are in the habit of exaggerating or imagining or anticipating sorrow. He believed that worry robs us twice, first in the imagination, and then again if the thing truly arrives. Why suffer both? Why not let reality bring its own measure when it comes? Consider how different that is from the modern habit. We check the news, replay scenarios, draft invisible arguments. We suffer dozens of lives in our heads, yet live only one in reality. The Stoics saw this clearly, and so they practiced a radical honesty, to distinguish between what is imagined and what is real, and to give weight only to the latter. Marcus Aurelius, perhaps the loneliest overthinker of them all, carried the empire in his hands. He knew betrayal, the fear of war, the grief of losing children, and yet he returned again and again to the same reminder. Do not let your imagination be crushed by life as a whole. Do not try to picture everything bad that could possibly happen. Stick with the situation at hand. In those words we hear the echo of countless nights where Marcus surely lay awake as you may have done, thoughts circling, fears expanding, and yet he always came back to this grounding. Deal with the present. The rest is dust not yet formed. This is the second lesson the Stoics offer us. The mind is not calmed by solving every possible outcome. It is calmed by returning to the present, by narrowing the field to what is truly here and now. When overthinking rises in you, remember that you are not the first to feel it. Marcus, Seneca, Epictetus, they too wrestled with the endless chatter of the mind. What sets them apart is not that they were free of overthinking, but that they learned how to walk with it, to quiet it, to gently guide it back to peace. And so, the ancient struggle is our struggle. The same questions echo through the centuries. The Stoic response remains: do not give away today's peace for tomorrow's shadows. The Stoics were not content with ideas alone. Philosophy for them was not a set of theories to admire, but a way of life to be practiced daily. And when it came to the restless, overthinking mind, they developed rituals and exercises, small, steady habits that could bring the storm to stillness. The first of these practices is the evening reflection. Seneca describes how at the end of each day he would sit in quiet and review his actions. He asked himself, what bad habit have you cured today? What fault have you resisted? In what respect are you better? For the overthinking mind, this ritual creates a boundary. Instead of thoughts scattering in 1,000 directions, they are gathered gently into a single frame. The mind, given structure, finds rest. Try to imagine yourself in his place. The city outside is noisy, but within your chamber a single lamp burns. You sit, pen in hand, recalling the moments of the day, not to punish yourself, but to bring order to your thoughts. What you did well, what you could improve. Then, like a book closed at night, the mind feels finished. Overthinking loses its grip when the day has been given its proper ending. Another practice the Stoics used is called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. At first, this may seem like the opposite of calming. Why dwell on what might go wrong? But the Stoics approached it differently. Instead of letting fear invent endless vague disasters, they faced potential hardships with clarity. They named them, explored them, and reminded themselves of their own strength. Seneca once advised, "He robs present ills of their power, who has perceived their coming beforehand." To the overthinking mind, this practice brings reality into focus. Vague fears are replaced with specific possibilities, and when those possibilities are examined calmly, their power shrinks. You remind yourself, yes, misfortune may come, but I am capable of enduring it. By rehearsing adversity in thought, the Stoics trained their minds not to panic when adversity arrived in life. Consider Marcus Aurelius. Each morning he reminded himself that he would meet the selfish, the ungrateful, the deceitful. By doing so, he freed himself from shock when he actually did. Overthinking tends to ask, what if something bad happens? The Stoic reply is, something bad will happen, and I will meet it with reason, not despair. Then there is the practice of perspective. The Stoics loved to remind themselves of the vastness of the universe. Marcus wrote of looking down from above, imagining the sweep of human lives, cities rising and falling, people born and dying. From such a height, the small concerns that keep us awake at night shrink to their proper size. Overthinking thrives when a single problem fills the entire screen of the mind. Perspective restores proportion. You might try this yourself the next time you lie awake. Picture the earth spinning silently in the cosmos. Picture the generations that have come before you, each with their worries, their overthinking, their restless nights. Picture how many of those worries never mattered in the end. Then bring your focus back to this single breath, this single night. Perspective does not erase problems, but it reminds us they are not the whole of reality. A final practice is journaling, the very habit Marcus Aurelius used to form his meditations. He wrote not to publish but to guide himself. For the overthinking mind, putting thoughts to paper is like taking stones out of a backpack. What is heavy within becomes lighter when placed outside. Words capture the swirl of thoughts and transform them into something you can look at, question, or set aside. The beauty of Stoic practice is its gentleness. There is no demand to silence the mind completely, no battle to be won against thought itself. Instead, there is a quiet redirection, reflection at night, premeditation in the morning, perspective in the midst of the day, journaling to release the mind's burden. Each practice is a doorway from restlessness to calm. And in this, the Stoics reveal their greatest wisdom. The mind cannot be forced into silence, but it can be guided into peace. If you have found yourself nodding along, perhaps you have already felt this truth. Overthinking is not defeated in one dramatic act. It is eased day by small choices, by gentle rituals that remind the mind of its place. Here, I'd like to pause briefly and invite you, softly, to support this journey. If these stories and reflections speak to you, if they bring you calm in your own restless nights, consider subscribing to Still Within. Each story is crafted as a quiet companion, guiding you back to peace. Now let us return, for beyond practices lies something deeper, the Stoic way of seeing life itself, which transforms not only the restless mind, but the restless soul. To calm an overthinking mind, the Stoics did more than create practices. They offered a vision of life itself, a way of seeing the world that loosens worry at its root. Because overthinking is not only about thoughts, it is about our relationship with fate, with time, with the vast unfolding of life that lies beyond our grasp. At the heart of Stoicism lies a radical acceptance. The universe is not ours to command. We are participants, not masters. The winds may shift, storms may come, fortune may rise and fall, but the measure of life is not found in controlling fate. It is found in how we meet what fate delivers. This vision is powerful for the overthinking mind, which constantly tries to predict, prevent, or prepare for every possibility. The Stoics remind us that much of life is already written in the fabric of the cosmos. We do not choose the era we are born into, the family we come from, the length of our days. To resist this is to fight the ocean itself. To accept it is to sail with the current, not against it. Epictetus taught this through the metaphor of a voyage. Imagine you are a sailor on a ship. The captain decides when to set sail, where to go, when to dock. You may not control the sea or the storm, but within the voyage you still have a role. To be a good sailor, to play your part with diligence and courage. Overthinking is like a sailor pacing the deck, trying to predict the weather, fearing every wave. The Stoic sailor, by contrast, takes up the oar and rows with strength, knowing that fate will take him where he is meant to go. Marcus Aurelius spoke of this often. He reminded himself that each event, no matter how painful, is part of the larger whole. He saw life as woven together, each thread forming a pattern we cannot always see. All that befalls you has been prepared for you from all eternity, he wrote, and the thread of causes was spun from the beginning. For him, overthinking dissolved when he trusted this larger order. The future was not his to carry, it was the universe's to unfold. Seneca too embraced this view. In his letters, he often reflected on the brevity of life. He urged his friend Lucilius to stop wasting time in hesitation and worry. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Overthinking is one way we waste life, not by living it, but by living in imagined futures. For Seneca, the answer was to accept death itself as natural, to meet it without dread, and to live fully in the time that remains. When we absorb this Stoic vision, the restless mind begins to quiet. Think of it like this. A child fears the dark because he imagines monsters in the shadows. But when he learns that the dark is simply the turning of the earth, the fear lessens. In the same way, the overthinking mind fears fate, imagining endless dangers. But when we see fate as natural, as belonging to the order of the universe, the fear loses its hold. This does not mean the Stoics were passive. Acceptance did not make them idle. On the contrary, it gave them clarity to act where their power was real. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire with this mindset. Epictetus taught with passion despite his hardships. Seneca wrote with urgency, urging others to live wisely. Their acceptance of fate freed them to focus on the present moment with strength and purpose. For the overthinking mind, this is a revelation. You do not need to control tomorrow in order to be at peace today. You need only to fulfill your role with integrity, to live in accordance with nature, to meet what comes with calm. Perhaps tonight your thoughts are circling, imagining futures you cannot control. The Stoics would whisper to you, release what is not yours. Accept the current of life. Trust the order of the whole. This is the third great lesson. Overthinking fades when we accept fate, when we let go of the illusion of control, and return to the small sphere where our choices truly matter. Let this vision settle in you. The stars above are ancient. The earth has turned for ages before you and will continue long after. Your life is a thread in the great fabric. To carry all of fate upon your shoulders is impossible. To play your part with peace, that is enough. And so the Stoic vision is not cold resignation. It is freedom. It is the freedom to stop rehearsing every possible future, to stop tightening the mind around things beyond reach. It is the freedom to live now fully without the constant weight of tomorrow. At the heart of Stoicism lies not just resilience, but stillness, a kind of calm that does not depend on the absence of noise, but on the strength of inner clarity. To the Stoics, stillness was not escape. It was mastery, the ability to remain grounded, unshaken, even when the storms of thought and circumstance raged all around. For the overthinking mind, this idea of stillness is deeply healing. Because what is overthinking if not a storm within? Thoughts crash into each other. Waves of worry rise higher and higher, and the mind feels tossed about without anchor. The Stoic answer is to return to the inner harbor, a place of stillness that cannot be taken by fate or by imagination. Marcus Aurelius described this inner harbor beautifully. People seek retreats for themselves in the country, by the coast, or in the hills. But it is always in your power to retreat into yourself. Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. Imagine that. Instead of longing for a perfect place, a perfect time, or perfect conditions to be at peace, Marcus teaches us that peace is already within. The retreat we long for is not far away. It is in the way we return to ourselves. For the overthinking mind, this is liberation. You do not need the world to be quiet before your mind can rest. You only need to turn inward, to that place of stillness that waits beneath the noise. But how do we reach that place? The Stoics remind us, through reason, through perspective, through remembering what is truly ours. When a thought presses heavily, what if I fail? What if I lose? What if they judge me? The Stoic practice is to pause to ask, is this within my control? Is this truly harmful? Will this matter in the vastness of time? With each question, the storm loses a little of its force and stillness grows stronger. Epictetus told his students that the door to freedom is always open. By this he meant that no one can imprison the mind unless we allow it. Our thoughts may stir, but we can always step back and choose how to see them. Overthinking chains us by convincing us that we must follow every thought. Stoicism breaks the chain by reminding us, you are free to step aside to let the thought pass, to return to what matters. Seneca described stillness in terms of harmony. To him, a wise life was like a song where each note fits its place. Overthinking is disharmony. It repeats the same note endlessly until the song is lost. Stillness restores the rhythm, reminding us that life moves forward, one note at a time. When you live in harmony with nature, you no longer need to overthink, because you trust that the song is unfolding as it should. In practical terms, Stoic stillness feels like breathing deeply in the midst of chaos. It feels like a pause before reacting, a soft smile in the face of uncertainty. It feels like closing the eyes and realizing that beneath the noise of thought, there is a quieter self who remains untouched. That self, the inner citadel, as Marcus called it, cannot be harmed by worry, because it belongs to what is eternal in you. Overthinking thrives on speed, on momentum, on chasing the next what if. Stoic stillness thrives on slowing down, on bringing the mind back to what is certain, what is real, what is here. It says, this breath is enough, this moment is enough, I am enough. And in that stillness, something shifts. You are no longer carried by the storm. You become the watcher of the storm, anchored, calm. Thoughts may still come, but they do not command you. Worries may still whisper, but they do not rule you. You discover, as the Stoics did, that peace is not the absence of thought, but the mastery of it. This is the fourth great lesson. Stillness is not somewhere outside, it is within. The overthinking mind becomes calm when it learns to retreat inward, to the inner citadel where peace already lives. So tonight, as you listen, let this be your practice. Notice the thoughts as they rise. Do not chase them. Do not fight them. Simply let them pass like clouds across the sky. Beneath them, there is a vast stillness waiting for you to rest within it.